First mile-and-a-half event of 2021. Front row is Austin Cindric and Daniel Hemrick. Here we go from Miami, listening into the 22.
Still outside quarter. Still outside quarter panel, 1.5 ahead of the 20. Still there, half lane up bumper. Still there, even, open behind them. Still there, wide open by 3, both lanes behind. Side pretty hard there through 1 and 2. 3, nothing on your lane. Still there, tight door. Lane up quarter. Even, you see, 2 back to Moffatt. Still there, quarter, bumper, you are clear. Clear half, clear half, clear half. Take care of it here, 1 by 3 ahead.
Coleman Presley, the spotter for Austin Cindric, who jumps out to the early lead, and Harrison Burton, who started in that inside lane going backwards a little bit. You saw the 0-2 of Brett Moffatt. He started outside row 3. He jumped up to the front.
Look at this. Nice. He chose to go with the draft down the back straightaway, and he'll try to look to the outside. Ryan Segan, the 39, he'll try to keep the momentum burned up top and make more passes.
Ryan was really fast here in the race last year. I think he won a couple stages actually in the 2 races here last year.
There's Burton back trying to find the groove, and Moffatt, though, former Truck Series champion in that 0-2, he's going to go hard all the time. But we'll see. I mean, that was a fairly, somewhat, I would say, uniform start where we didn't have too much going on as far as 3 wide.
I was impressed that Cindric chose the bottom actually for that initial start. He was the pole sitter, so he had the choice, and he chose the bottom. It looked like Hemrick was actually going to beat him off of turn 2, and he was able to side draft him and get back to the lead.
I see this and I say sense of urgency. Look at the 7 of Justin Allgaier, that bright red car down on the inside, rallying up front. He's to 18th.
Yeah, that was a mess back there for a little bit, but Allgaier's just carving through it, and then we got Santino Ferrucci.
I am so impressed with him to fire off in his first race in a stock car right here and to be driving forward like he is. That's pretty cool.
Ferrucci, 22, from Connecticut, and as you said, Eric, never been in a stock car, but he knows one speed when he's racing, and that's fast. He's been around the block, and look at him running up high.
And look at that guy right behind him in that white car, Tyler Reddick. You know he's going to be good here. He's won 2 championships by winning the race here for Junior Motorsports and RCR.
Justin Haley with a move for position, driving to the inside of that black and white 0-2. That's Brett Moffatt.
Seeing most passes right now are people carving underneath the other car, and that's just where the rotation is coming from, and they're able to hold it lower, right?
I agree. I think it's a product of the green racetrack. The track's not very rubbered up right now, so the shortest way around is still pretty fast, but as the track takes rubber, you're going to see that eventual Homestead line where they're right up against the fence. I guarantee it.
Is it almost good if you're not turning out the lap times early? Because I've always felt like you want to be good on the long haul here. How much do you make of that?
Well, you do, but it's definitely a give and take. You saw Noah Gragson last year just be so good on the long runs, and then the race come down to a short green-white checkered, and he got beat. So there's definitely a balance. You want a car that's fast, but you definitely want it to stay good for the entire run.
Yeah, there's times where the crew chief in the setup matches the lower air pressures, and that's for more of a longer run. Then there's times where your setup is firmer and you've got air pressures up and you're able to grab spots right away, and then you're kind of hanging on towards the end of the run.
Joe Gibbs Racing teammates, Harrison Burton in the green and white 20. The red, black and white number 19 is Brandon Jones. Couple of mile-and-a-half wins on his resume and trying to get in the top 5 here.
It's lap 7, and they're already figuring out how to look in the mirror and hold that high groove.
The 2 is Myatt Snyder, the 54. Regan Smith talked about him. The birthday boy, Ty Dillon, who's worked his way into the top 10. And behind him, there he is.
Didn't take him very long at all, did it?
No, it didn't. He's high, wide, and handsome, too.
I talked to him last night, and I said, what's your goal for that opening stage? Because you're starting outside the top 20. He said, I expect to win the opening stage.
Wow.
I love it, but look at that. I mean, he just carved right there, took 2 spots.
Cars, yeah,
it's like whack-a-mole. He's like, bam, bam, moving on.
That's impressive. You know they're going to be good. They dominated both races here last year. Dave Ellens, as crew chief, has provided great cars for whoever's been in their cars here at Homestead specifically. And Junior Motorsports just in general has always had extremely fast race cars here at Homestead.
Well, you think about Dave Ellens with Tyler Reddick when they won a championship here. Reddick driving that 9 car back in 2018. We're at the 1/4 point of our opening stage. Austin Cindric started on the pole. He's led every lap, but things getting good behind him in Miami. The NASCAR Xfinity Series rolling through a Saturday afternoon at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. It's the Contender Boats 250. I said they're rolling through. Maybe they're sliding through this Saturday. Look at that.
Oh, rap.
Loose. He got hung up on that seam.
Scale 1 to 10, let's give him an 11.
You do sound effects, Kurt? I had no idea.
I mean, he's pedaling it, he's wheeling it. I mean, he is loose. He's doing all he can right now. Turn 4 is always the slickest spot on this racetrack, right, Eric? It seems like the banking drops off quicker than turn 2, and you're always struggling with looseness. And also the sun pounds down on turn 4 more so than turn 2.
I tell you what, you guys better start paying attention. Noah Gragson is coming. He has been consistently the fastest car by 2/3 of a second per lap.
Definitely cranking out the lap times right now.
He said he was going to come from the back and win stage 1, and I believe him right now. He's already up to P5.
Yeah, 23rd to 5th in 15 laps, and that battle up in front of him continues. Bright orange 18 is Daniel Hemrick. The 02 we mentioned in Brett Moffatt, and there you saw in the pylon the biggest movers. Best of the bunch is Tyler Reddick, but also on that list we talked about him, Noah Gragson in the 9. And look where Reddick is. It's a shocker. He's running the wall.
That's awesome. I love it. You know, we'll get a still shot maybe of the actual lines through the corners, and I'll draw on a telestrator like the low groove, the middle groove, and then the Reddick groove. He's always right there. Look at that.
Him and Larson are the two best guys that you see run the wall here. And, you know, in the Xfinity Series, you can get away with it. You make a mistake. Sometimes those cars actually seem like they go faster after they hit the wall.
That is crazy. I mean, that discipline and then just the accuracy. And here he is. I mean, no practice, no rhythm. He just goes out there and finds it. It's like he never missed a beat from the time he drove these cars to win the championships.
Yep.
I go back to when he was running for those championships, and we know he loves the wall, right? But he had a huge advantage. And I'm sitting at home like, just get off the wall and nurse this thing home. He's not going to do it. He loves it up there and obviously feels quite comfortable.
Obviously.
I mean, once you find that rhythm and you have that speed built up, this is a momentum type track that you have that dirt track type feel, and you just try to carry your speed all the way through the corners.
You see Austin Cindric here. He's being much more calm and patient with his race car, trying to keep it in one piece and staying a good 4 or 5 feet off the wall.
Gragson moving up to 4th now, Jamie.
He's on a roll, Adam, and he told me in the pre-race show he is not thinking about points today. It is checkers or wreckers. He is going for what he lost last year. He also told me he wants to get to that wall, but he's not going to be the first. He was waiting to see when Tyler Reddick went up to the wall, and then he would follow suit.
Absolutely, that's a smart move. You always wait for the spotter to give you little token nuggets of what others are doing. Of course you wait for Reddick. As soon as Reddick's up there, track's ready.
Well, the racetrack is very, very abrasive here as well. So you want some rubber to go down. You don't want to have a right front tire issue in this first stage.
I feel bad. He's dominating, and we haven't said a whole lot about Austin Cindric. What's their story, Regan?
Well, Adam, Austin's pretty happy with his race car right now, but it's interesting. The team's not reporting what the 2nd or 3rd place cars are doing to him. They are also already talking about Noah Gragson and the speed that 9 car has. They're giving him details as to where he's running, what he's doing different, and what his lap times are. Austin very happy with that car, but worried about the 9 already.
Yeah, Cindric led the most laps in the first 2 races of the year. And here he is leading the first 19 in Miami. And this is the battle for 3rd. Hemrick and Gragson, the 18 and the 9.
You can see it right there where Hemrick's being a little more conservative and keeping his car off the wall, and Gregson's running a little bit more of that Reddick line. Not quite, but he's up there for sure.
Yeah, he's just doing a good job of keeping his speed up all the way around the racetrack, and they're halfway through this first stage, and these are when the tires are starting to have their fatigue, and any kind of break in momentum really slows the lap time down.
This is where it starts getting challenging as the leader. When you start going through lap traffic, you want to run up against the fence. You got yourself in a nice little rhythm of running up there, and next thing you know, you catch lap traffic, and it starts to mess the air up, and your rhythm actually gets a little broken. So you have to stay really disciplined when you're doing that.
And there's the 16 of A.J. Allmendinger, started 24th, plus 11. He's 13th. Austin Cindric leads.
Miami gonna sting? No, we dominated these last two. We don't really come here to run fifth, we come here to win. I mean, that's 2 days in a row. No matter how the car is driving, it's my job to get the job done.
A year ago, the Xfinity Series came to Miami twice on back-to-back days, and the disappointment for Noah Gragson, who led more laps than anybody. You see the numbers here, but did not get the payoff, and comes here hungry and running third as we get a caution for the first time today. And understand there was an issue with Stephen Parsons in the 99.
Looks like a couple flats. He's the 5th car in the frame, right around in here.
Oh, he just gets loose.
Yeah. All tires look like they were up. Riding along with Austin Cindric, the leader. See the smoke up ahead.
Oh, that's a scary feeling, especially when you're the leader. You see the smoke, and you're just hoping your spotter tells you where to go. Hope he's right.
Here we are, just over 10 laps to go in the stage. We talked about that extra set of tires. Do you use them here? How do you guys think they'll handle this?
You know, I think if you're one of the cars racing for points, racing for stage points, you're going to come and get tires. But if you're one of the cars floundering and you're hanging on, I think you don't come. And
we got a mixed bag.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's like a 50-50 mix there.
Whoa. And we had a crew member get hit. Yeah. Wow, that's scary.
Man, that was tough.
That's Daniel Hemrick's pit area.
Hope he's okay.
Well, what's odd about that is pit road really was not that congested because there were so few cars that came down. We'll have to check the replay and see exactly what happened there. So Hemrick is in. His teammate Brandon Jones is also making a pit stop. Justin Haley is in. What do you see here, guys?
Well, Hemrick's pulling into his box, and he's going to the wrong box.
Yep.
He needed to be turning in, what, 2 boxes sooner than that, Eric?
Yeah, that was, it looked like, it just looked like he was headed to the wrong place there.
Yeah, it turned into a yard sale. There's tires everywhere. That's why they're in no hurry to.
Those pit crew guys are troopers, man. They are true warriors to jump out in front of a 3,400-pound stock car like that.
Everybody is up. They'll service the car. He'll have to start in the back, and we'll get that restart when we return. I can't believe this. We're a couple of days away from the month of March. Let's do on this date, February 27th. First ever Mardi Gras. We got a little music worked into our trip down memory lane. Oh yeah, Matt Kinseth winning the Daytona 500. That was his second in the Great American Race. It happened 9 years ago. And now let's listen in to 18 Radio, Daniel Hemrick, and what happened on pit road.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to turn in. That's all front brake, and I was trying to get the split at least. I hope everybody's all right. I should have just aborted.
We're all set here, bud. We're all set.
It's just so scary.
Yeah,
It really is.
tough
I'm
moment.
glad everybody's okay down there.
How does that impact a driver's mental psyche knowing that something like that has happened? How hard to put that behind you and move on?
Yeah, there's a ton of track position lost now, and you got to just settle back in and figure out where you're going to make it back up to the team, but don't do it too aggressively.
Yeah, I agree. I am so interested in seeing how this strategy works out. I feel like whoever just came and got tires right there, one of those guys is going to win this stage. But I like the call of these guys running up front where they feel confident in their car. They feel like they can make it to the end of the stage, still score some stage points, and yet, you know, save that extra set of tires.
So you think somebody's got tires, they're running P20.
I do.
Justin Haley is the guy that's the furthest forward on track position with tires, is going to win this stage?
I do.
This is awesome. This is what this is all about. 10 laps to go. The top 19 cars have old tires. The guys behind all have fresh tires. We're not even be able to commentate on the cars changing lanes and zigzagging. It's going to be like a video game here for a little bit.
Other strategy here, choose rule in play. First time
Right.
we've seen it today. Austin Cindric, like the start of the race, goes inside lane. Moffatt to his outside.
It's actually nice of Noah Gragson to push him a little bit, but then that opens up the door for Ty to move it on to the inside.
Ty Dillon in the 54, the only one of those Joe Gibbs Toyotas that stayed out, and the outside lane for the lead. Here comes Noah Gragson in the 9. He's on point, as we will see 9 laps to go next time around.
He said he was going to be aggressive, and he was not lying.
Love it. He just went right to the outside of the guy that's dominated the race so far, and now these guys are all trying to position themselves up top with these old tires.
And look at Justin Haley, Harrison Burton, and these other guys that got tires. They're coming through the field in a hurry, slicing and dicing.
Look at that back there.
Wow.
Was that 4 wide?
That
Haley
was.
down low, Justin Allgaier's up there, and so is A.J. Allmendinger.
They are coming with these fresh tires. I think they're about 2 seconds a lap faster.
That's Burton, the 10 of Jeb Burton, the 20 of Harrison Burton. And this is for the 3rd position, Cindric and Moffatt.
Moffatt throws it down in there on the inside, but he's going to struggle to try to drive up off of turn 4. And here comes Haley.
Look who's coming. I told you guys, new tires is going to win this stage. I guarantee it.
Cindric got out of shape there and back behind him. Here it is, Justin Haley. He feels like a hero on those fresh tires.
New tires is an amazing feeling here, especially when everybody else has old ones.
It's not even close.
Not even close.
The only question is, what will this mean later in the race when he's down a set if it plays out that way? Haley from 20th to the lead in a couple of laps.
Well, it's probably going to play out the exact opposite of what you're witnessing right here, because you're seeing how it's working out, fresh tires versus 22, 24 lap tires.
That is awesome. Just watching the left side of the leaderboard, just moving up and down. All the cars changing positions. 3 wide down into 1.
And that's exactly what makes this racetrack so special. That's why drivers love coming here, because the maneuverability on the racetrack, you can run 3 and 4 wide. You can move all over to make passes, and the tires fall off so much. You have to pay attention to tire fall off, and when you do get those 4 feel goods, you can make something happen.
By the way, Cindric, who was leading at the restart in 3 laps, has dropped outside the top 10. All of these drivers you see here came down and got tires, and the rally continues.
Yeah, this is great to see how this played out. I had no idea that it would be that quick before Haley got to the lead.
I'll be honest, the thing that I'm most impressed with is that Noah Gragson's holding on in 3rd with those old tires.
That usually means your car's pretty darn good. That's what that means.
Haley's got some company. You know, Allmendinger was pretty quiet early, but he's right there for the top position.
He is.
He is, yeah. And you know what? I would expect that out of AJ. They ran really good last year at Atlanta. I believe he won, actually, at Atlanta.
His only win on an oval.
Which is another 1.5 mile worn-out asphalt racetrack. So here you go.
He had a good day here picking up the dash for cash after winning at Atlanta, and he was eligible
That's
here
right.
and got the payoff. Jamie?
Well, you guys talk about the Colleague cars. All three of them built identical. All three of them on the same pit strategy. All came in, got air pressure adjustments and tires, and now they're running first, second, and third.
And Allmendinger, no doubt, wants redemption. Remember the end of the stage last week when he and Cindric got together? He would love to make a statement and win the opening stage today, but Haley slams the door shut on him.
That was so close for him being able to get clear. And if he does get clear, he sets sail, but they're putting on a heck of a race for us.
And he's going to try to time the draft now. If he can try to get to his left rear, he did not. And so he's going to have to try to reset and see how the run goes through 3 and 4. You want to try to keep your nose out just a little bit if you're the 16 and getting that clean air. But he went all the way to the bottom.
And if he can just get off this corner and stay on Justin Haley's left rear quarter panel, he can side draft him down the straightaway and actually clear him getting into one. Here it is right here.
There you go. Exactly like that. Textbook.
My goodness, it looked like I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, you nailed it, Eric.
3 to go in the stage, and there is a new leader. And based on what Jamie Little just reported, somewhere Matt Colleague is smiling. His drivers go 1, 2, 3 in this opening stage, and maybe not for long. The cousins going at it. Harrison trying to take third away from Jeb.
Again, down to the bottom, and he's going to try to slide up and use the old slide job move. Oh,
whoa, crossed him over.
Burton and the other Burton.
He wants those stage points.
That's right. They're wheeling it.
2 to go in the stage. He wants those stage points.
And
shows you how valuable they are.
Emmerich's back. He's going to get it wound up.
There you
top.
go. That's exactly why racers love coming here. 3 different options of going through turn 1 and 2 right there.
I just love the rally for Hemrick after what happened on pit road.
Yeah,
I said, how do you put it behind you? He obviously has.
Get up on the wheel. That's exactly how you put it behind you.
That's right. Belts tight, elbows out. He won't quite clear Harrison off this corner, but he's got another lap to try to grab one more spot.
Final lap of the opening stage, and it's been entertaining to say the least. Allmendinger leading teammate Justin Haley. Some distance back to Harrison Burton in third. Hemrick and Jeb Burton complete the top 5.
Hemrick's actually going after Burton right here. He's going to be able to stay on his left rear quarter panel and try and side draft him. This is going to be interesting. The pass on the bottom of 3 and 4 is extremely difficult.
Let's see if there'll be any kind of give or if there's going to be more take.
He's barely clear. Is he going to take it?
Battles and takes it. Opening stage belongs to A.J. Allmendinger. Justin Haley is second. Hemrick hangs on to third. Harrison Burton is fourth, and Jeb Burton completes the top 5. I like when they're out of balance on tires. Makes for some really good racing.
That was fun.
Allmendinger, the man right now in Miami. can't beat the spectacular views of South Beach. And for a chance to win $10,000 of Clint Boyer's money, all you have to do is download the Fox Bet Super 6 app and pick 6 outcomes about Stage 2 of tomorrow's NASCAR race at Homestead. It's free to play. Don't miss your turn and enter Clint's Stage 2 contest now. A.J. Allmendinger, 5th career stage win. First time he's done so on a 1.5 miles.
Do they pit?
I say yes.
I agree.
Here they are. For reference, Noah Gragson was 10th. He didn't pit earlier. Austin Cindric 14th. He's getting tires for the first time as well. Jamie?
A.J. Allmendinger 25th to first on that last run. Said the car's turning pretty good. They'll put 4 tires on it for the second time in this race. Meanwhile, Noah Gragson's been a big story here. Got shuffled back. This is the first time he's pitting for 4 tires. Car is pretty good. Regan.
Well, Harrison Burton loses a spot at the very end of that run right there. That race car is too tight. He's not overly happy with it right now. And on the right side of your screen, you see Austin Cindric. That car needs drive off. A lot of discussion about how he can protect the right rear on restarts later in this race so he doesn't get hung on the bottom if it comes down to that.
And the race off pit road. Nice effort by the 16 crew. Same for Justin Haley. Those teammates from Colleague Racing hold serve. Jet Burton picking up a couple of positions. So it's 1, 2, 3 right now for Colleague. Let's hear from our Stage 1 winner.
All right, let's dial it up. Hey, Allmendinger, the dinger, came from 25th to 1st. This is a Fox Sports 1 booth. Tell us how you did it, sir.
Well, good. Your tires helped for sure. Just struggling a little bit, trying to dial this Ellsworth Advisor Chevy in, but definitely taking tires there. We needed to just to try to make an adjustment early. So still working on it, but we know Homestead tires are a big deal. So, but good to win. Finally get our first stage points of the year, win a stage. Try to get back in this Xfinity Championship. So keep digging here.
Now, solid effort. It was fun to watch, almost like video game status. So good job, and best of luck with Stage 2 coming up.
Appreciate it.
And what do you say we give a little love to his crew chief who made the call? Jason Trincherry, getting his driver 4 tires. He got the win, and he'll have the lead when we restart next. Just about time for stage 2 in Miami. Brandon Brown fans, disappointment early. Driver of the 68, after a great start to the year, had a plug wire come loose. He's 2 laps down and right now scored in the 39th position after starting in the top 10. A.J. Allmendinger leading as we get ready for stage 2. Let's listen in on team radio.
I know it's hard not to drive by him like right away, but if you can mirror him off of 2 and get a run to him, you could slide job him in 3 and 4 like you tried. Yeah, I wasn't. Anybody else other than Justin, I would have get in there, but I wasn't going to slide up in front of him. It just got loose, so I actually got wider than I wanted to.
There you have it. So you guys questioned me on that last pit cycle on whether they should come or not, and if they were going to have time to score any stage points. Not only did 9 of the top 10 cars all pit, there was only 1 car that stayed out that got stage points, and it was Noah Gragson, and he got 1 for finishing 10th. So I think that speaks volume about his car to be able to hang on, but that shows you how important tires are.
I think Kurt challenged you. I'm not sure I really challenged
I'm about ready to take my headset off. You know? I've been behind the wheel a lot of years, and one of the things I still struggle with is the pit strategy sequences. So between you and me, Eric, I drive, you call the race. What do you think?
No, I kind of like the driving gig.
These boys are getting their tires all cleaned off and ready for a restart. This is now the guys that are putting themselves in position to see what they've got here.
All right, now we talk about strategy, and this is a strategy that ended up working out okay. You won the championship in 2004 despite that dramatic moment, Kurt.
Look at the tire. It now came to the end of pit lane, and Jimmy Fenning is yelling, guys, our wheel is over there. And it's like, no, it rolled all the way down the front straightaway.
That is the best strategy, to come down pit road and the caution come out.
Yes, but no, that was a nail biter.
The race off pit road went Kurt 1, the tire 2nd. Here comes A.J. Allmendinger for the restart in stage 2.
He chose the inside. We've seen that all day. And he clears him.
Wasn't even close, really.
Got a good launch, and the 10 car didn't challenge just yet. And so now with Haley, those boys on the outside, there's going to be a big draft on the outside lane.
Watch Brandon Jones, red and white 19 for Joe Gibbs Racing. Working the middle groove here on the restart.
This is when it starts getting interesting. After everybody's had a couple pit stops, they've made adjustments to their race cars. Now they're going to start figuring out where their car's at and how aggressive they can be with it.
Saw Santino Ferrucci got into the wall. He's been banging the outside just a little bit today, and that one might have got him. A little damage there, it looked like, for the 26 Sam Hunt Racing.
Well, they'll definitely take a lot more of a beating than those open wheel cars he's used to, but I think that one was pretty devastating.
Brandon Jones making a move up to 3rd spot now. Just trying to get settled in and feel out the car and not, what do you think, Eric? Like, not use it up too much here in the beginning, because you got this long stage 2.
You're exactly right. It's such give and take. You want to fire off. You want to hurry up and get track position as soon as you take back off on the restart. But at the same time, you don't want to wear your stuff out, because the long runs here is such a big deal.
Michael Annett in the 1. First time we've said his name today. So good on the 1.5 miles a season ago. And way on the outside of that battle, the 8 of Josh Berry, late model star, getting an opportunity for junior motorsports, and he's holding his own inside the top dozen.
Yeah, he's an incredible late model racer. Races for Dale Jr. in the late model stock series, and does a great job with that. Great to see him getting an opportunity here.
Yeah, he's making the best of it with Filter Time as a sponsor. They're looking to do more races, and here he is on the inside. Does he end up with a little fender rub here?
Whoa. Wow.
There you go. That's a little bit of aero. That's some aero right there. You don't get that aero challenge in the late models. Let's go to the 18 audio.
Got my lever or sub. Knock the Goodyear off for sure. Don't see any smoke. I'll get another good eye on it here. 3 off to the 1.
And that's just some good hard racing, and that's the knowledge that he's gaining now. I mean, the aero side, when you get to these big 1.5 miles, you can't teach it. You can't, and we can't reiterate it enough on where you position your car on how it'll create a stable feel, or if you're going to get jacked around sideways.
on board with Austin Cindric. Restarted outside the top 10 after dominating the early portion of this race. They played a different strategy. I think right now we're learning how fast that car is in traffic and continuing to work his way to the front.
Absolutely. Going back to that contact between the 8 and the 18, that's one of the things I absolutely love about watching these Xfinity races. Is those guys can race and they lean on each other and rub on each other. Kurt, if me and you do that tomorrow, we're guaranteed to have a tire rub.
Yeah, the fenders are just way too close to the tires for the Cup cars. These guys, there's a little bit more forgiveness, so you get a little bit more of that raciness.
Myatt Snyder, Riley Herbst, just outside the top 15. They got together on track a moment ago.
Let's see, there's always that age-old question. Am I clear? Am I not clear? Is the guy going to let me in?
Clear.
I think you've chopped me a lot of times like that, Eric.
No, sir.
No?
No, I raced you with the utmost respect.
I'm sure.
I know that Riley didn't have a great starting position today, but I'm surprised that they have not been a little more competitive when you consider the speed they've had the last couple of weeks and been so good on the mile-and-a-halfs in recent years with Chase Briscoe.
Let's talk to Chris Rice. Chris Rice, you got us up here in the FS1 booth?
Yeah, we got you, bud.
Awesome. How proud must you be right now watching your cars run up front? You guys, Matt Collick and your whole race team, it's so cool to see what you guys do out of your organization.
Well, you just gave me cold chills because the last time we talked, we were talking about a wreck. This time we're talking about a win, so that's pretty cool. You know, everybody at Collick Racing, we really are not good here. And for these cars to do what they're doing today has been awesome. Just proud of everybody. Jason, over a brand new crew chief on his 16 car. Just really proud of everybody at Collick Racing. But, you know, it's a long race. We had some strategy. It worked out. And looking forward to the rest of the race for sure.
Well, man, it's so fun to watch you guys. You guys look like you have fun when you're doing it, and that makes it fun for us to watch. So good luck the rest of the way.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you coming out on a Saturday working with us because you can learn something if you watch, but we appreciate it, and I guess have fun tomorrow. Thank you, guys.
When you think about Collick Racing and where they were 4, 5, 6 years ago and where they are now, 3 cars running full-time, had one in the championship for a season ago, and doing some cup racing with their drivers. It's an impressive ride. Tonight, the former two-time super middleweight champion Anthony the Dog Durrell returns and will face off against the rising Chiron Shut It Down Davis. Don't miss the action. It's tonight on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Who you got, Durrell or Davis?
I don't know. They both look mean.
I'll be on the sidelines rooting for them both.
I tell you what, the beginning of the race, it looked like Noah Gragson was going to have this handedly, but everybody's had an opportunity to work on their race cars these last couple of pit stops, and the playing field is evened out.
I would say the other thing that's happening here, a long green flag run in stage 2, no cautions, means that extra set of tires that those drivers used midway through stage 1 is playing into their hands.
It really is. They're not going to need them as much. Yeah, if they can make it through this whole stage without needing a set of tires, it's going to set those guys up to where they're really on equal playing field going into the final stage.
Now these two teammates are just wearing each other out right now. It looked like it was Jones that caught Harrison, and he just can't quite get clear. And here's Gragson running that rim ride right there.
I think he got a piece of the wall there with that right rear. I don't know what's better, the battle for third, Jones and Harrison Burton, or this battle for fourth here.
That was clean, and maybe Gragson clearing both.
Clearing both.
Yeah, 2 for 1. I said the battle for fourth. Gragson said, the heck with that, I'm going to third.
That's your atypical Homestead slide job right there. Drove it all the way in, way down into turn 1, cleared them both, and then got back up to the wall to take their line away.
And that was starting with those two running side by side, and then Gragson got that huge run off the top side of 4. Let's go down to Regan on the 7 car.
Well, you guys talk about Noah Gragson and how happy he is with his race car right now. Teammate Justin Allgaier not as happy. Take a listen to this.
I can't even think about turning my hands on corner entry on the top. Need something. Look at SMP, figure something out. Help me out as much as you can, because I feel like a monkey right now.
Justin very frustrated with that car, has been all day. This team needs a good run. They're a ways back in points right now. A lot of bad luck to start the year. They're going to have to make some significant adjustments.
First 2 races, 28th and 26th. He's running top 10 today, but no doubt he's frustrated. And what about the 98, Jamie?
He's another one, Adam, that's off to a rough start with his new team and Stuart Haas. They started back in 29th, and he's running the same car, same setup that Chase Briscoe won with here last year. The plan was to run the bottom, get the car working well, and move up. But he's just been too loose to make up too much ground. He's running 16th right now.
I know this track is unique, but it does begin a run of intermediates. 3 of the next 4 at 1.5 miles. This might be a bit of a preview of what's to come in the next few weeks. So if you don't feel good today, you got to get things tightened up. One guy that's feeling good, A.J. Allmendinger. He's led 27 of our 65 laps. He's in front of Haley, Gragson, Jones, and Ty Dillon. You saw in our side-by-side break, we've brought out the caution for the third time today. Fluid coming off the 99 of Stephen Parsons. 12 to go in the stage. Pit road is closed, but here we are again, fellas. Do you come down with just over 10 laps to go in the stage or not? And some of that might be dictated by how many sets of tires do you have laying.
All right, I'm going to go to the crew chief here in the booth. Eric Amarola, what's the call?
Man, I think that if you pitted in that first stage when the caution came out, there's no way you can pit right here because that will only leave you one set of tires for that final stage. So you're going to pit halfway through that final stage because you need the fuel. So that means that you're not going to have a set of tires if there's a late caution. So I don't think that you can pit. But those guys that stayed out, you bet your bottom dollar they're coming to get tires.
Love it. I agree 100%. Oh, wow.
Look at this. He was Rookie of the Year a season ago, won 4 times, including right here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway, but major problems it would appear for the 20 of Harrison Burton.
That's bad when you see the smoke coming out of the exhaust pipes.
No bueno. Yeah, that's probably going to be the end of the day for the 20.
And you know what's really weird about that? It happened under caution.
You think he's... Yeah, let's go to their audio on the 20 car.
Looking pretty good now. Sure, oil pressure looks good, and it's only doing it. I don't know, it won't fire now. I think we blew up or something, I don't know.
Man, there would be no real reason to be shutting it off to save fuel. There's no, maybe it got crossed up on the switches, but I doubt it.
That is strange.
Great combination of driver and crew chief. You heard him on the radio, saw him on the box. Jason Ratcliffe, who's been so good not only
pit road's
in
open.
the Xfinity Series, but at the Cup level as well. And most of those lead cars stay out, but Austin Cindric, who remember has an additional set, he comes down pit road and he's bringing some others with him. Ryan Sieg making a stop, so is Riley Herbst. Here they are, Jamie.
Riley Herbst brings it in. They've been working on that car, making some air pressure adjustments. Got to tear off so he can see clearly with that bright sun, and you see it there. Wedge adjustment there. Regan.
Austin Cindric with that extra set of tires left since he didn't stop during that first stage. That race car, they've been working on it. He's been too free off the corners, so they want to try and fix that just a little bit more for later in the race.
I don't feel like as many guys pitted here.
Agreed.
As did the first time, which means you got a lot more ground to make up, starting deeper in the field. Keep your eye on that 22 when we return. We are closing on the end of stage number 2 in the Contender Boats 250 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at the Homestead-Miami Speedway with Eric Almirola, Kurt Busch. I'm Adam Alexander. Kurt from Las Vegas, so is Noah Gragson, who will restart in the second position with 7 laps to go in the stage. Who is this kid? Comes from Las Vegas, good friends with Riley Herbst. He's a twin. Forever I didn't know he was a twin. He's a sports fan, loves those Golden Knights, and that's his big catch in the offseason. He's hoping to get a big catch here in Miami this weekend. He feels like this place owes him one, and when you look at his performance so far, fellas, he might be in position to get it done.
Yeah, I just love his enthusiasm. Everything he's doing at a top level, whether it's here, there, and everywhere, in the car, outside the car, social media. He's a darling. You guys got to follow him on there and keep up with all his antics.
Yeah, he has a lot of fun. He just looks like a guy that has a lot of fun. It's going to be fun to watch him in this race. His car's really good on the long run. He was beating Allmendinger probably 2/10 a lap right there before the caution came out. But I was really surprised they didn't pit right there. They have an extra set of tires. They didn't pit in the first stage when the caution come out. So I'm going to be watching Austin Cindric right here with 7 laps to go in this stage. He's got 4 fresh tires, and he is going to be coming.
To put in perspective, A.J. Allmendinger won stage 1, 25th to the win in 10 laps, and quite honestly, it didn't take him the full 10 laps to get there, and a much shorter rally and more ground to cover likely for Austin Cindric. Now let's go back to A.J. Allmendinger, who forever was known as the road racer. Ran part-time a year ago for Colleague, went to Atlanta, and wins on an oval. Big moment for him in his career.
Oh, I loved it. I mean, Atlanta is one of those cool places, just like Homestead-Miami, where the asphalt chews up the tires, and you got to know how to drift it just right. And so car control comes into play more so these worn-out tracks, similar to a road course.
And he was so pumped. It was so cool to see him be that excited because he had finally won on an oval.
Yes.
Everybody knows A.J. Allmendinger as a road racer, and to see him, get around Atlanta like he did, and to put on a clinic that day was impressive.
They went an extra lap, so there's actually only going to be 6 to go in the stage when we go green. And I noticed, you saw it there, Allmendinger goes in the outside lane on this restart. Cindric actually going to restart in the 22nd position.
Yeah, I like that call by Allmendinger. And we saw Gragson actually get to the lead the last restart on old tires from the outside. So I think Allmendinger made the right call there, but I'm excited to watch this 22 car. He's coming from deep in the field, I think 21st, 23rd it looks like, and he's going to be coming on those 4 fresh tires.
Over, under, what position does he get to here in 6 laps?
I say he wins it.
Okay.
Last time it was 3 laps to get to the lead.
Kurt, does he get there?
I'm rooting for Allmendinger and for Haley to get single file fast and just try to run and use this track position to their advantage.
6 to go, stage 2.
Not a clean as start as we'd hoped.
Gragson got a great launch.
Brandon Jones is down there.
Launch.
Ty Dillon in that mix. Michael Annette up in the top 5.
Look at Moffatt just throwing it in there in the middle. Slicing, dicing.
Gragson got a great start. Allmendinger did not. He spun his tires really bad, which is very easy to do here. Look at Cindric coming. Wow. 3 wide.
He cut the deficit in half before we got to turn 3.
I'm telling you, it is so fun to watch cars go like this on new tires.
It's like a video game. Just knifing through there.
4 wide. 4 wide.
Why not? 2 plus 2 is 4, and here comes Cindric.
I've always heard 8 tires is better than 4. I've never heard 16 tires is better than 4.
This is an incredible rally.
Just reeling him in like a big fit. But Gragson, he deserves a ton of credit. He gave himself a chance at winning this stage by launching as smooth as he did. But
yeah,
when
but
I say
there's
that,
no chance. No chance for those 4 fresh tires. Look at that.
But
one lap to P4. The second lap, he's second. The next corner, he'll be leading.
The other thought, though, on Gragson is that he does have one more set of tires by staying out here than Cindric, depending on how the cautions fall in the final stage. 22nd to the lead. It took him a couple of laps, and here's Austin Cindric.
I know, but I'm not sure you're going to need all those extra tires in the final stage. But if they do, he's going to have them. And you can see how big of an advantage they're going to pay off for him.
Noah's got to be like, what? Really? I have to work this hard again for another stage grouping of points?
Looks like the 0-2 just hit the wall.
Moffatt a little loose into one. That wasn't bad.
Nah.
Yeah, scale of 1 to 10, that's a 1.
And he got it with the right rear quarter panel and not the right front fender, so he's fine.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about this going to break. The one thing for Gragson we should mention, you know, the last time he stayed out, he dropped back to 10th. Here it would appear he's going to maintain some pretty good track position because so many other cars stayed out. Look at Landon Castle in the 4. Jeremy Clements in the 51. He's got Wealth Accelerator on the car. New sponsor for Jeremy this weekend. He wants to do him proud.
And it looks like those guys just came down on the most recent caution and got tires as well. So you can just see those 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles make a world of difference.
Pit road closed as we hit 2 to go in the stage. The 39 is Ryan Sieg. Won stages in the 2 races here a year ago and working on a top 10, trying to get some points.
Myatt Snyder up to 2nd.
It's amazing what the tires will do. I thought there would be lap time drop off. I know there is, of course, here, but man, there's I would say 3 seconds easily between old tires and new tires.
Yeah, Austin Cindric sitting there running 34.70s, and before the caution come out, they were running 36.80s. So yeah,
solid 2 seconds there.
Final lap of our second stage, and it's been A.J. Allmendinger and Austin Cindric just handing it back and forth. Allmendinger has led 35 laps today. He won the opening stage, and it will be 34 laps led for Austin Cindric this time around, and he will see the green and white checkered flag. 16th stage win for him, and the second time he's got it done this season.
And one of the key elements, though, of pitting right there, you now have track position for when you know you're going to pit now. So it gives yourself the best chance towards this final run.
And he's got another bonus point for the playoffs.
Cha-ching.
That's always big. NASCAR's been coming down to Miami since the mid-90s. Always a good greeting. Forever we came here in November as a part of championship weekend. Came last summer after delays because of the pandemic. And this year, it's race number 3 for both the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, who will take on this 1.5 miles tomorrow. Stage 2 complete. Austin Cindric wins it. You're watching the Contender Boats 250.
Pit road's open.
It's about to get busy down there, and it's a huge stop as you try to establish that track position for the final stage and that run to the checkered flag. Cindric, Snyder, Gragson, Herbst, and Jones. Here they come, Jamie.
Those Vegas boys nose to tail. First up is the 98er Riley Herbst. Remember, he just came for tires 8 laps ago, was able to rally, make up a lot of positions. They've been working to make that car more stable. Meanwhile, on the left, Noah Gragson. The car is pretty good. He's had awesome speed all race long so far. 4-tire stop here. He'll have that extra step for later, Regan.
Well, Snyder on the left side of the screen, another one of those cars that took the tires there at the end of that run to score some stage points. That car's tight center right now. It's much better than it was earlier right now. The 22 car of Austin Cindric, once he got up front, he was trying to save tires in case they stayed out. No need to stay out. They pitted for tires and no adjustments.
And the crew does their job. Cindric comes off first. Gragson +1, Herbst +1. Snyder lost a couple of spots. A.J. Allmendinger with good service goes +3. How about Austin Cindric winning playoff points in every race this year, Eric?
Austin Cindric. Eric Almirola, buddy, up here in the FS1 booth. You got us?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Man, those 4 fresh tires made you look like a superhero out there. Your Ford Mustang was dicing through the field. That had to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a fast CPG Ford Mustang. Tires make it look that much faster, so I know we're going to have to be good on the long haul here. Riding up by the boards should be fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, tell us about that. How's your car? What do you feel like you need to go race them and go win this thing?
Man, I feel like we've connected the run better than we have in the past, so I'm optimistic for the long run, especially with the cooler temps. Trying to make a few adjustments here, and you know, I don't mind a restart or a long run. Just let it race. Have some fun. It's a good track.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun up here watching you, buddy. Keep her clean. We'll be watching.
Maybe some pressure on his crew chief Brian Wilson, because the sun is going down. The track will change as we hit the final stage. Pit stops under caution as we wrapped up our second stage, and circled here the 17 of J.J. Yaley, who's gonna spin around off the nose of Kyle Weatherman, I believe.
Yeah, you got to kind of inch over to the left a little bit when you see your pit box coming up.
Yeah, you got to give those guys behind you a lane to get around when you start slowing down for your pit box.
And we go back to an earlier pit stop when Daniel Hemrick came down. And Jamie, you have a follow-up on the crew member here.
Yes, and that front tire carrier you see right there knocked down, that's Josh Shiplett. He complained of right side rib pain. They took him to the infield care center. Now replacing him is one of Harrison Burton's pit crew members, the front tire carrier of Brad Donahue. Now, something else to keep in mind, this is Denny Hamlin's pit crew for tomorrow that's pitting this 18 car, so it's to be determined if Josh Shiplett will return, so our best well wishes to him.
No doubt about it. You saw Donahue has come down. Harrison Burton, in case you missed it, did take his car to the garage. For Hemrick, he will restart 10th here.
Man, that is one of the risks of having your Cup pit crews pit on Saturday. It definitely helps giving them extra reps, and they're in the groove by the time our cars roll down pit road tomorrow. But that's certainly risky because you have a situation like that.
Colby Howard, who was 17th in both races here a season ago. He's 20 years old, from Simpsonville, South Carolina. And he's going to restart this race, make it 19, just graduated high school last year. Going to restart this race from the outside lane. He stayed out.
Ooh.
Woo, this is a dangerous game.
Bees everywhere.
Save yourself, save yourself. Oh, wow, that's a big call.
Cindric doesn't mind, right? He can just check
he's
out
fine
and go.
with it. Yeah.
That and Myatt Snyder, he's got to watch out with this guy launching.
Yeah, he can't pass before he gets to start-finish line.
Here's 22 radio on the restart.
You're half ahead, middle cover by half. Outside bumpers to 2, outside bumpers to 2, half to the bottom, outside.
Three wide into
outside,
1.
You're on the mid, outside quarter, still there, mid of 3,
Inside,
mid of 3,
outside.
mid of 3,
Inside, outside.
Mid of 3, open behind the 2, just a 9 on the bottom.
What a great
Open
job
by
Myatt
1 to the
Snyder
top.
did right there.
Still mid of 3,
Both those boys driving it down in there.
Myatt Snyder working that outside lane. Cindric in the middle, down low. It's Noah Gragson.
Cindric coming back on the top.
I love the restarts here. There's no other track that really exemplifies the drivers and choosing which place you want to be and what groove you want to make your lap time in. And making the pass. Here comes Dinger to the inside of Noah.
Dinger's going, man. His car's really good.
He's got to put on a block to Myatt.
Snyder jumps into that middle lane, and he's going up the racetrack. Gragson trying to save it.
At the scale of 1 to 10, that's a 4-ish.
Yeah, that's a pretty hard hit.
That was a pretty good Homestead stripe. We'll see. We'll see how Gragson's able to bounce back from that.
These composite bodies on these Xfinity cars usually are pretty good about taking a beating. No, there he goes. He's going after Jeb Burton right there already.
Got that left rear with the Goodyears wiped off. So, I mean, it was a pretty good hit. Hopefully it didn't gouge the tire and create a flat.
As long as he doesn't have a tire rub, I think he'll be okay.
Looks clean to me. Run it.
Oh, Myatt just got a little free on entry, couldn't turn the wheel, and got into Noah's left rear there.
Yeah, it's like you got to kind of make the decision a little bit sooner than that. But, man, there's just cars everywhere. It's tough. Looking back on it.
The other thing is Noah didn't really commit to run on the fence. He actually was going to go and like put his left sides on that seam. So they kind of were going for both going for the same real estate.
I like what I see out front. Cindric and Allmendinger 1-2. That's where they were in stage 1 last week at Daytona. And here we are 3 wide. Brandon Jones going up high.
Nice power move for Brandon Jones on the top. Take those spots.
My goodness, this is a fun place to watch a race.
And we've got Dinger just kind of reeling in the leader. Got these boys back here trying to settle out the backside of the top 10. Lane choices everywhere.
Ty Dillon trying to go places here.
He hasn't spent as much time in the top 5 today as I thought he would. Talking about Ty Dillon. Team won last week. with Ty Gibbs behind the wheel. What a great story that was.
Yeah, and you know what's surprising? They didn't pit during that second stage when the caution come out. So they're one of those teams that has an extra set of tires right here for this final stage. They've got 3 sets of tires laying in the pits, where the majority of teams have 2. Some even only have 1 set for this final stage.
They want a lot of cautions in the final stage.
Yes,
to take
they do.
advantage of those tires they've saved up.
Nice crossback move for Myatt Snyder, trying to get to the outside. The 2 cars going in the corner nice and light, but watch him gain this momentum up as he's now able to go back to the gas and unravel the wheel. And he should gain this momentum back down the front straightaway.
See the 39 of Ryan Sieg. He got a speeding penalty early in this race, was outside the top 30. He's now got a spot in the top 10.
I don't think Gregson's car is as good as it once was before he got damaged. He's getting a lot of pressure from Brandon Jones right now. I know he had a long run card earlier.
Yeah, this is great. We've got Ty looking to the inside. It's going to be tough to make that pass and clear up, but just a lot of good action. Got battle for 7th on the left side, and then battle for 15th on the right with Reddick.
I thought Reddick was going to be one of the guys to contend here today. I really did.
I did too.
Yeah, and he's racing there with Josh Berry, who has shown himself really well today.
Absolutely.
I mean, limited experience at these intermediate tracks.
And it is so hard to go from late model racing at half-mile bull rings to go and try and run a stock car race here at Homestead, and no practice at all.
And go to Dale Jr.'s Twitter. He told a great story today about these 2 meeting and how that relationship has developed and what led to Berry getting this opportunity for so many starts in 2021. We're closing on lap 100. Austin Cindric leading. Allmendinger right behind him. Haley, Jones, and Gragson, the top 5. Caution out for the 5th time today. NASCAR Xfinity Series racing at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. Allgaier are a part of the caution. You saw the damage there. Pit road is open, and they're all coming down, Jamie.
And the 16 of A.J. Allmendinger bringing his car in for 4 tires here. Fix them up just a little bit. Feels like the track is getting better for them. It's coming to them. Meanwhile, the 9, the 11 as well, the 9 and Noah Gragson, though, he wanted to stay out for track position, but they said, no, we need to fix that right rear. He's not as good off the wall, so they're making some adjustments and getting those fresh tires, Regan.
Austin Cindric on the right side of your screen. They didn't have a choice right here. They knew some of the other competitors would pit. Felt like they needed to as well. That race car just a little bit too tight right now.
Cindric wins the race off pit road, and we are on the very outside edge of maybe being able to go the distance on fuel. Most everybody has at least one set of tires remaining. Some have 2 sets left, and now we look at the damage from Allgaier, who was running in the top 10 when he had a run-in with the 98 of Riley Herbst.
Oh man, don't go up high. He's there.
Not clear.
Those are those moments where you want to be clear. Allgaier wants to be clear and get down the straightaway and draft.
Right.
And Herbst is like, no, man, I'm going to hold my track position here.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating for the guy on the inside because the guy on the outside just barely hanging there kills your momentum down that whole straightaway. So you're trying to get yourself clear, but that's not the way to clear yourself.
A year ago in the championship 4, Allgaier to start the season 28, 26, then he's outside the top 35 today. Tomorrow, the best season ever continues as the NASCAR Cup Series takes on Homestead-Miami Speedway. It's the Dixie Vodka 400. All the action starts with race day here on FS1, 2 Eastern time. Then we're over to Fox at 3. And you can watch the broadcast from anywhere on the Fox Sports app. Under caution for the 5th time today, Justin Allgaier involved in an accident.
Sorry, I couldn't hold. I was out of air, Eddie.
Okay.
I hit really hard.
They tried to get it repaired to no avail. He heads to the garage. We're going green, and we'll do so with 65 laps remaining. And a few cars stayed out, among them Jeffrey Earnhardt and Jeremy Clements. And here comes Justin Haley up the middle on the restart.
Love it. 5 wide down into turn 1. Everybody's just ripping and gouging, trying to get by some of those guys that stayed out.
Just looking for a hole.
Austin Cindric is through to the lead. AJ Allmendinger is there. And we just got to report the 54 of Ty Dillon has a problem as well.
Oh, wow. He was one of those guys that had extra tires.
He's gone to the garage. And
I wonder if it's a motor issue like the 20.
Hole in the radiator is
hole in the
report
radiator.
on the 54.
Wow.
So tough break for the 20 of Harrison Burton. And the 54 also having his issue with the radiator going to the garage. The fleet from Joe Gibbs Racing has been cut in half.
I love this. This is that best view in the house where you get to see as many cars as you want. Pick your favorite guy.
Some of them go on the paint. Watch this. I think it's the 1 car.
Yep. He's like, I'm going further left than you.
There's no out of bounds.
It's a free-for-all. When you have tires and you have this set up at the beginning of the run, of the end of the race, you got to go hard. You've got to go now.
Yeah, the laps are definitely winding down.
And so this is setting up, right, Eric?
It is.
I mean, this is where you have a set still laying, and you want to run as long as you can on this set.
That's
but you
right.
don't know when that final yellow is going to come out, and you can't make it on fuel.
I questioned it. I questioned it earlier about Gragson staying out both times in both those stages. But guess what? He's got 2 sets of tires left where everybody else has 1 set of tires.
He did have an extended stop a moment ago to repair the damage after he got into the wall. So right now he's outside the top 10. And this is the battle for 4th among teammates. Brandon Jones up to 4th. Hemrick slides back to the 5th spot.
And we got teammates right in front of him for Colleague, putting a lot of pressure on Austin Cindric.
If you're Austin Cindric and you know the situation on tires, I was going to say, do you try to take care of things here? But really no choice, because as you said, those Colleague teammates right in his hip pocket with 61 to go.
Yeah, you got to go, but you got to make these tires last too, man. He's only got 1 set of stickers left, and I think he has some 8-lap scuffs that we just heard from Regan that they're actually gluing back up in case they need them.
And Brian Wilson told me earlier today that would be part of their plan, and you may have to do that.
But it's not ideal. You want 4 stickers, I promise you.
Hey, Brett Moffatt in the 02, another one of those teams that has a couple of sets of tires remaining, and Gragson into the wall just a bit.
That's what you have. Like, you just cannot unravel at this point. You're okay. Your car's not destroyed. Like, you've got extra tires more than anybody else. Like, you just can't unravel. You got to be patient. He has a really good long-run car, so we'll see how it works out for him.
Yeah, this is that tough point in the race where a guy that's as fast as Noah wants to go hard quick, but the strength of his car is after 20 laps on the tires. Everybody can run pretty darn good from lap 15 to 20, and then it's like, all right, where's the setup? Where's the driver rhythm? And that's where Noah can really reel these guys in.
Austin Cindric leading. We get our Ford Performance track facts. 8 Miami wins for Ford. Dale Jarrett getting it done here in 1995. First ever race at this place. And last season, Chase Briscoe won in dominating fashion. That was a day after he started the race on pit road, went 6 laps down and came back and finished inside the top 10.
We talked about it earlier, Adam. It has been so impressive to watch this kid. He has matured so much. After coming off that Xfinity championship, he has so much confidence, and you see it. I mean, he can win every single weekend. You know, there's every track seems to be a strength for them.
But here's another driver that for a long time was thought of as a road racer. And then last summer he started winning on ovals and did so 3 consecutive times at intermediate tracks. And now we've got our 6th caution of the day.
Got some
and it's
fluid
Colby
out there.
Howard.
Man, this changes up the strategy, though, doesn't it?
Big time.
Man, with just that few laps on your tires, you have to stay out at this point.
I agree with that. I would never go out on re-glued up scuffs.
No.
Those are my least favorite sets of tires.
Well, and I'm guessing even if you're one of those teams that had a couple of sets left, I mean, if you come this early, you probably don't get the advantage of that, right?
I agree. I think, how many laps did they run? 3 or 4 right there. So Man, I don't know.
I think we went
Maybe
green with 61 to go, so it would have been four laps under green, I believe, here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
That's why I don't like being the guy on the box. I like being the guy behind the wheel.
How much do you want to know about all that? I mean, you don't have to make the decisions ultimately, but do you want to be aware of the situation, or do you just want to drive the race car?
Well, there's that feel you have in the car, and if you've got that feel of, oh, I know my car's going to come to me the longer we stay on this set of tires,
right,
then I want to stay out. If I just ran those first 4 laps and my car is not handling the right way, I'm communicating that to the crew chief to go, hey, I kind of raising my arm up here for a little bit of help.
Let's hear what the 11 says.
2 runs, I feel like something's bound up in the front end, like power steering issue or something. I'll be going down the straightaway and the wheel will just lock and stay locked until I let out of the gas to come to the pits for it, but something's locking up when I'm not in the banking.
Yeah, that is weird. If it's like unloaded on the straightaway and something's locking up, it's not a good feel. And it's like you've got all that track position.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to come in and work on it.
Yeah. I'm yeah, I'm going to stay out. As long as it's not too detrimental, we're definitely going to stay out and not give up that track position.
So there was fluid in turn 4, and that's why we are under caution, but it looks like all the safety crews have pulled away down there, and pit road does remain closed. Millions of kids nationwide are without their normal access to sports and play due to COVID-19. That's why Fox Sports and Good Sports are restoring play through donations of brand new gear, including nearly $100,000 worth of equipment from Good Sports to restore play for programs in need in the Miami area. Text PLAY to the number on your screen to help kids stay in the game. 56 laps to go. Austin Cindric out front. He won stage 2. He's led the most laps today. 59 circuits out front for him. Justin Haley is second. He's led 5 laps. A.J. Allmendinger is third. He led 35 laps early in this race and won the opening stage of the day. Brandon Jones, Daniel Hemrick, teammates from Joe Gibbs Racing, complete the top 5. The 47 there, Kyle Weatherman, he gets the free pass on our 6th caution.
I'm going to say the 22 is not going to pit. I'll be shocked if they do. I don't even think the glue is dry on the lug nuts that they just glued back onto their wheels. Let's hear what he has to say.
Right now, it's really us, the 39, 2, and 98 that have the best scuffs if we have to go to that set. Then everyone else has got about 5 more laps on them than we do.
Yeah, but you know what he's not telling them? There's a couple cars that have an extra set of stickers that he doesn't.
02, Brett Moffatt is one of them, and he's going to come down pit road. Ryan Sieg is as well. We'll follow up on those stops when we come back. Austin Cindric, the race leader, with 56 laps to go in Miami. couple of laps away from going green one more time here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. So let's hear from the race leader's crew chief. Kurt, let's dial up Brian Wilson.
Hey, Brian Wilson, it's Kurt Busch up in the Fox Sports 1 booth. You got us?
Yes, sir. I got you.
So how bad were you sweating it right there as far as gluing up those scuffs and putting them on, or just leaving them out there and letting your champion driver handle it?
Yeah, you would think that with extra sets of tires, it would make the decisions easier, but having options and having all these cautions is definitely making it pretty tough here. So definitely sweating it a little bit, but I think we're in a good spot right now.
Very good. Last little question. You got the thing set up for short run or long run here to finish it off?
Man, that's really what we worked on. We were a short run car last year. We tried to balance it out. So, you know, we'll see. I don't know if we have a 54 lap long run car, but I don't know if anybody knows that. So we're about to find out.
10-4. Good luck. Put on a good show.
We talked about that early in the broadcast. What do you want? I mean, there's a huge balance here. Long run, short run.
I think it's interesting what he said. He said, I don't think we have a 54 lap good long run. Does that mean he feels good on fuel? Does that mean he feels like they can run it the rest of the way?
That would be a pretty tall order to run it the rest of the way. But again, you got to keep that last set of tires, right? You got to keep them in your pocket like you're holding on to poker chips, making sure that you got it positive when you head back home.
Let's hear from A.J. Allmendinger, who will restart on that front row with Cindric here.
Milkshake. Did you get a milkshake today? No milkshake. Okay, well, milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Oh, you want me to keep singing? I remember when you used to sing that song. Yeah. You used to have the dance moves to match. We ain't taking top. I've been yelled at all day about being on the outside. We were taking bottom.
The traffic on their radio is outstanding.
Shut them down. Let's go down to Jamie and talk to the 48.
Just an update on the 48. How about this? This is his first oval race in NASCAR. He's running 16th right now. Done a great job. It's a brand new team. The 48, of course, Scott Borchetta with Big Machine. They are running full-time this year, and he's so new to it that NASCAR's watching him for observation. If he's good to go in this race, he'll be good for Talladega and all the races moving on, but doing a great job. Just a good shout-out to a driver making a first today in his career.
Jade Buford goes top 15 in his first oval start. Approve him. He's fine to run any racetrack on the circuit, right?
Yep, check that box. Got the certification. I mean, that's awesome to start up a new team. Got a road racer guy running good on the oval. Yeah.
Bailey Curry's up there. Joe Graff Jr., Josh Williams. A few unsung heroes in the top 15. Green flag with 52 to go. Cindric and Allmendinger out front.
Allmendinger did a much better job on that restart.
Yeah, he's going to be able to hold to right rear quarter panel. And is Haley going to be able to get to the inside? Ooh.
Oh,
he got him
loose. Yeah, he did.
Outside is Brandon Jones.
Like, where'd he come from?
Can he make it work? Here comes the 8. Josh Berry continues to impress.
That is great. This can be a big moment down here in 3 and 4. Is Allmendinger going to be able to slide up in front of Brandon? He's running the low lane. What do you think?
I think it's too close. Yeah, too close.
That's right. Joneser got him on the high side of 3 and 4.
That was an impressive restart by Brandon Jones. Wow.
It was. And with the heat cycle in the tires, now you're on a little bit older tires, and that's where you want to go to the high side. Keep that momentum up. But, man, give the shout out to Barry running that high groove in the 8 car.
Yeah, he is.
And here comes Noah Gragson. I mean, it was like, where was he? They repaired the damage. He lost all that position, and now he's back in the top 5 in that 9.
Man, that one little moment with Haley on the back bumper of Cindric got him loose, and now he's just going to be reeling this whole beginning part of this run, trying to get back up there.
And I'll tell you, I think one of the products of this is just how Cindric's car has refired on those scuffed tires. Sometimes different people's cars, the way they're set up, they either fire off good or don't fire off good on scuffed tires, and it looks like his car just did not fire off that good on those scuffed tires.
Wow, Barry is showing a lot of poise right there, not making that move and just following Cindric down the straightaway, and let's see where he fans out here. This is where the driver has so many options, and he's trying to keep clean air on the nose.
Whoa, got him loose.
There. Guess what,
Here comes his teammate.
You're going to have a gaggle of boys on your right and on your left, man.
Cindric pedaling. Here comes Gragson in the 9.
Here comes Moffatt on those brand new tires.
Yep. Brett Moffatt got the rally going. Those tires feel good, right, Regan?
Those tires are great. This race car's been super loose most of the day, but guys, as you know, good tires, that changes everything. He's in a really good spot if this race goes green the rest of the way with another set of stickers sitting down here.
They have played the game right. And let's go back 2 weeks. He got his career best finish. He almost won the season opening event at Daytona, was second, and a big-time player here. He's now fourth, and in better shape, as Regan said, in regard to tires. They just pitted.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Moffatt out there. But man, looks like Gragson
in the wall
again. Bang, bang, bang. And there's Barry, man.
Yeah, that wasn't terrible. Those were just a few kisses.
And here's for the pass for the lead. Allmendinger back
inside of Brandon Jones.
And he's going to close the door quick.
Yeah.
That's where he just moved up. And he should be able to match up with the right rear quarter panel.
Wow, Brandon Jones with a crossover move, but gets back clear.
And hey, with him racing, here comes the 18 of Daniel Hemrick. Keep in mind, he's never won a NASCAR National Touring Series event. 7 runner-up finishes right here in the Xfinity Series. Wouldn't he love to erase that stat today?
And these two boys are going at it for the lead. This is fun.
Man, Brandon Jones, he had such a move to close the door, and he didn't. He was very generous.
I thought the same thing. I thought you're clear.
Yeah, move up.
Yeah.
And that's that moment on the corner exit, if you're clear or not clear, and some guys end up wrecked. Look at Barry go, passing Cindric for position.
There's another crossover.
That's all right. He's going to cross back over.
Josh Berry, late model racer with very little experience, no practice, passing our Xfinity champion. This kid continues to impress.
He had limited practice at Daytona. Had never raced in the draft like that, and went out and was running top 10 a good portion of the day before getting involved in an accident late. So he is turning a lot of heads, and I know the boss man, Dale Jr., has got to be impressed.
It's just the information that he's gathering right now, racing with these guys towards the front. It doesn't matter if he's going to make the pass and make it clean or be able to keep the position. It's just keeping clean and just staying smooth out there. Got Moffatt wheeling it up on the high groove. Looks like she's getting a little bit too loose.
Yeah, look at him sliding it around. Those fresh tires are paying off right now, but if you continue to slide those tires for very long, you might pay the price for it.
Yeah, there's still 45 to go.
Now, when does that advantage on those fresher tires go away? Because the guys that he's racing didn't have a bunch of green flag laps on their tires.
No, but I tell you, the one thing about these Goodyear tires that sometimes baffles me is the heat cycles. Sometimes heat cycles at certain racetracks, they'll fire off even faster. And then certain racetracks like here at Homestead, one heat cycle, if you just go out and run one lap and come right back in, when you go back out, they're going to be slower.
Moffatt is third. You want another upset special? Jeremy Clements running 8th right now. He was 10th on the road course last weekend at Daytona.
Yep, and he's another one of those guys, just like Brett Moffatt, that rolled down pit road and got some tires.
That is a great call, and trying to utilize the most out of it.
And give some love to his crew chief, Mark Setzer, new on the box this year. Jeremy really excited about what he brings to the table.
That was a close call right there by Josh Berry, closing the door on his teammate Noah Gragson.
Sure was. It's always that teammate. Hey, maybe he'll give me some room.
Yeah.
Now, buddy, you're the new guy.
So Josh has taken a little bit more of a conservative approach. He's running a few feet off the wall, and Gragson he's already got damage. He's like, the heck with it. I'm just going to pound it.
Jeb Burton has slid back outside the top 10, racing here behind Michael Annett in the 1. And the 39 is Ryan Sieg. Let's go back to this battle for 6th. It continues to be a good one.
Again, it's just finding that clean air, and Barry's working his way up to that high side. But man, there's just that last little bit that he's starting to feel out with that grip level that's literally 6 inches from the wall.
He could see in his mirror that Gragson was putting a lot of pressure on him, running right on the fence. He knew it's time to get up on the fence. There's only 42 laps to go.
Confidence growing for Josh Berry. A.J. Allmendinger leads. 38 laps to go. A.J. Allmendinger leading, and we look at our Xfinity fastest lap. He's second on the fastest lap tally behind Austin Cindric. Haley is there, Hemrick is there, Brett Moffatt the 5th quickest lap, but he's second on track, and he continues to run down that 16.
Yeah, he's not running him down anymore. He's there. This is that cat and mouse game, and is he going to carve low, or is he going to run it up high? Still going to run it up high.
He's been running the fence and doing it really, really well. He's putting great laps together. The last time by, he beat Allmendinger by 0.3 of a second.
This is Our Motorsports, brand new team a year ago. They've run at the lower levels, but never in Xfinity till last season. Chris Our is dedicated. He wants to be successful at this, and I don't think there's any question they overachieved last year in their first year full-time. A lot of those races with Brett driving, and here he is on point, 36 laps to go, and you got to believe he clears them on those fresher tires, and now in a great position, fellas.
It's impressive. This is exactly what the sport of NASCAR needs and is all about. It's the equal opportunity of a new team picking up a veteran driver that's a Truck Series champion and somebody that always gets up on the wheel. There is everything and good about this 02 car right now.
Yeah, Brett is one of the more underrated drivers, I would say, in the series. He does a phenomenal job. He did a great job in the Truck Series and continues to impress every time he gets in these Xfinity cars.
He's just wheeling it right now, man. 35 to go. Just got to stay smooth, got to stay steady. Don't even look in the mirror. Just keep running your lap times.
He's still young when you look at the number of starts, but you saw it there. He's 28 years of age, so he's been around driving for quite some time. Touched earlier, Kurt, on the fact that he won the truck championship. It happened in 2018. Running full-time in both series this year, Trucks and Xfinity, and he leads A.J. Allmendinger.
Don't look now, but Noah Gragson consistently these last 3-4 laps has been outrunning Moffatt by 3-4 a lap.
Yeah, he just cleared Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones fighting back a little bit, but we'll take you guys through the field, and you're right, Eric. Gragson's coming.
We keep talking about it. He's got a great long run card.
Yep. He knows how to do it right there. Perfect execution.
They were unbelievable here last year on the long run. The problem was we had cautions late in the races that took them out of an opportunity to go get the win.
He's coming in a hurry, Adam.
Here's Cindric in 5th. He's led 63 laps today and won stage 2.
His car just hasn't been as good after he fired back off on those scuffed tires.
Yeah, maybe
that one heat cycle.
The loose side.
Yeah.
Hey, we talk about Our Motorsports. This is the 23 of Tyler Reddick. There's a bit of a partnership there with Our and RSS. So across the board, they're having a good day. Daniel Hemrick, who spent a lot of time up front, is 7th. Jeremy Clements having a great day.
Gragson is 2nd.
Yeah, there he is.
This is amazing. It's like
last time by Noah Gragson 35.20, Brett Moffatt 35.82, 0.6 of a second.
That's a different zip code when you get towards this type of the run. Wow.
I'll say this, though. Great admiration for Noah on how patient he has been today, because it's not been handed to him. They've had a lot of things go wrong, and he's just hung on, and now here he is in position to pounce with just over 30 to go.
Yeah, just look at the right side of his car. That tells a lot of the story.
This is great. He's got to have a good run, but Moffatt's, of course, going to take the high groove away from him. Gragson's just going to drive down to the bottom side and just aim for the top of turn 2. And we'll see where the momentum crosses over down the back straightaway.
That makes this racetrack so cool and so fun. I mean, you just run them down, get to them, turn left and pass them.
And it works too. When you get that run off turn 4 on a guy, then you have turn 1 and 2 at your disposal to do the slide job and kind of just take charge.
Going to be 30 laps to go this time by. Last time he pitted lap 99, and there's his teammate. Josh
He's wheeling
Berry.
it.
Oh.
He's wheeling it. Hang on, buddy.
He's a little too loose. You want to be free, but you don't want to be that loose.
He's been giving it a good go, though. Yeah, actually, Must have been an offense a few times. Yeah, he's way back in 32nd. I was trying to find him on the board.
This is what I was talking about earlier. Dale Jr. tweeting earlier today about Josh, how they met online, developed a relationship. And for any young driver, don't be afraid. If you want to advance, just go to the top guy. That's what Josh did. And here he is all these years later, Jamie.
Well, you guys saw what happened there. He got into the wall. Well, the damage was significant enough it cut his right rear down, so they had to come in and pit. Was doing a great job in the top 10 tonight, but Taylor Moyer said, go like heck. Let's make up as many spots as possible.
You know what's remarkable? Coming into this race tonight, the only top 10 Junior Motorsports had in those first 2 races of the year, that 8 car last week with Miguel Paludo on the road course at Daytona.
And don't count him out. Do not count Josh Berry out, because he's got 4 fresh tires because they had to come pit and fix the damage and put tires on it. And he's currently running a second and a half per lap faster than the leaders.
No, you're exactly right, Eric. He's not done. He'll keep chipping away at it, but what a successful day already for them.
Yeah, he needs to get back in that free pass position and get a caution so he can get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, and here's Gragson.
In the meantime, we have a new leader.
He's just got that outside lane pinned down. Like, he knows exactly what to do with the steering, the throttle, the brake, the aero. He is maximizing the potential of lap time each and every lap, and it takes that 20 laps to get it going.
As we head down the stretch of this race, Eric, wanted to touch on your foundation here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for doing that for us. Janice and I started the Almirola Family Fund at Levine Children's Hospital. We unfortunately had to go there when our daughter Abby was only 3 weeks old. She got RSV, and we were in the hospital for almost a week, right up to Christmas Day. And they are phenomenal there, and we've just felt so compelled to give back and to help them after our experience there. So we do a lot with the hospital, and Janice really heads that up, and I support her, and our kids have gotten to go and volunteer there. COVID has messed things up for us with doing things with Atrium Health and Levine Children's Hospital, but such a great opportunity for us to help give back to the hospital.
I want to get your all's opinion here as we look at the front runners. And we understand Myatt Snyder, who's 7th, did get into the wall. All these drivers in the top 10, with the exception of Moffatt and Jeremy Clements, last pitted at lap 99. That would put them on a 67-lap run to the checkered flag. So if you're Gragson, you got to take care of your tires. You got to be thinking about fuel. Where are you at if you're those guys up front that haven't pitted since lap 99?
Let's recap. Yeah, the Snyder just got behind that 22, got in the dirty air and smacked the fence a bit. And they've been out there a long time, Eric. And this is that part of the race where, as a driver, you have to find that rhythm and just crank out nice, smooth inputs and get to the end. Now, I don't know. Can they make it on fuel?
You know, you talk about rhythm, but this is one of the tricky things about this place is the rhythm constantly changes because the tires degrade. They fall off really bad. You start losing 2-3 seconds, and your car drives drastically different when your car slows down 3 seconds from when it's on new tires to when it's on old tires.
And Moffatt is hanging in. They go around Jade Buford, the lap car. Moffatt looking for the lead once again.
Well, that was the lap car kind of picking up or taking away the momentum from Noah Gragson. And now with Noah back up top, he'll be able to get the good lap time out of the car. He's phenomenal in that high groove today. But here's a look at the 48s kind of running up ahead. And Noah just didn't quite time this pass, or he was expecting for him to get out of the way.
Oh, yeah. He was expecting the 48 to pull over, and the 48 said, no, you can turn left.
Well, hey, we talked about the inexperience. First time, he's ever been on an oval, and a bit of a learning lesson here, I'm guessing, for Jade Buford in the 48.
Look at how much of the momentum it killed.
Yeah,
Brett Moffatt went from over a second back to on his bumper.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a mistake on Noah's part. You got to know who you're racing against at all times. And the 48 just doesn't have the experience to know how to move out of the way as a lap car yet on the ovals.
Gragson does maintain the lead. What's going on with Austin Cindric, Regan?
Well, Austin slipped back to the 7th position. Adam, a little bit of a struggle right now. The team thinks they may have a slow leak on the right front tire causing their issues.
Yeah, that's a tough break. That's just not going to make anything feel good in the car. You're going to feel like you're loose because the right front air is down, but then it's not going to turn.
And what a terrible situation to be in as a driver. And for a lot of these guys, except Noah Gragson, to be honest, you're sitting here, you got to run out the run. Your crew chief's not going to let you come pit, but your tires feel so bad right now. All you want to do is come pit and get 4 new tires.
He wants a caution in the worst way. Brandon Jones racing with Tyler Reddick, 19 and 23 there.
And there's Barry making a pass on Allmendinger, who's a 3rd place car. And this is just coming back from that tire problem that they had. And we'll see. We'll see what his lap times are able to get him. Maybe he can get back up and crack the top 15.
And he's passing a lot of guys that are a lap down. He just needs this to time perfectly when he gets the free pass spot that the caution comes out. And well, these two not getting away from each other. Brandon Jones in the 19, the 23 Tyler Reddick doing double duty this weekend and working on a top 5.
And Reddick is going to use that high lane just like Noah Gragson. He's going to run up there and hit the right steering, throttle, brake inputs and keep that momentum rolling. And as soon as I say that, he's carving down to the inside.
That's just because he's trying to make a pass. He'll be right up against the fence.
It's all about that clean air, right?
Well, Allmendinger knows he's coming. He said the last thing I'm going to do is give the 23 the high side, right? Let's give a shout out to David Starr. Started 40th and currently running in the 13th position. You talk about a journeyman, 53 years old from Houston, Texas. He's done it all in his NASCAR career.
It's a clean looking car right there. It's fast, it's orange, and it's going to taste good too. Whataburger.
It's making me hungry. If only I could get my burger with some Smithfield bacon on it. Sorry.
You bring some with you.
Sorry.
Bring some with you. I'll give you a monster to wash it down.
Reddick in 3rd behind his quasi-teammate Brett Moffatt, and there's the 19 of Brandon Jones. What's their story, Regan?
Adam, they've been working hard to get this car freed up all night long. Not quite there with it. The bigger concern, though, is crew chief Jeff Mandering just came on the radio and said, watch your fuel, be very easy with that throttle in the middle of the corner. A little uncertainty for them if they can make it.
That's what I was saying. I was so confused if these guys could go to the end on fuel. Well, best thing about old tires, slip sliding around at 1.5 miles like this, you're backing out of the gas early and really backing that corner up and closing the carburetor, closing the fuel off so that you can save it the best way possible.
I just want to know how close they are. Like, are they 1 lap close or are they like 5 laps short, kind of close? Like, because if you're 3, 4, 5 laps short and you know you're not going to make it, why do you not pit sooner and take advantage of those fresh tires?
Well, in the numbers I heard, 60 to 63, and they pitted with 67 to go. And we had some caution laps in there, which helped. And I got to believe, you get on these older tires, you're not getting in the gas as early. I mean, all of that is going to add up and help your fuel number, right?
No, you're exactly right.
It does help. But, yeah, let's try to gain some more intel and find out how close all these teams are on fuel.
Well, and the guy we got to watch here in that scenario is Brett Moffatt, because he didn't pit with 67 to go.
Right.
He pitted at lap 112 with 55 remaining. Foregone conclusion, he can make it to the checkered flag.
Absolutely. He's got, what, 13 more laps of fuel?
Right. Yep.
That, to me, makes sense. And he can make it, and the others can't. But we'll see what the fuel mileage is as these guys are getting closer and closer to the end.
And I mean, the only thing I can think is that those guys that are close on fuel, they've only got 1 set of stickers left, right? So they're holding on to hope that if a caution comes out with less than 10 laps to go, they're going to come put their final set of stickers on and go race for a win.
It's like having insurance. You always have to buy it. You always have to keep that extra set of tires, but sometimes you don't get the chance to use them.
But you know, of all the people that actually has 2 sets of tires left in the pits, the 9 car, Noah Gragson.
He does not want to see a yellow right now.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say,
no,
he doesn't use both of them. He might use one if we get a caution, but one of them is going to be left laying in the pit area.
Unless he's close on fuel. His crew chief might want a caution.
Very true, huh? Clicking away the laps, running right up against the fence.
Hey, you saw the 92 there, Josh Williams, Starr, the sponsor, Fort Lauderdale, Florida company. And there's Dave Ellens, right of your screen.
We got to see if we can get some intel and find out how close is close.
Going to be 12 to go when we come around this time.
I love it. You got now the lap traffic game. Every car counts. Every car can either add tenths of a second or take it away from you. Moffatt's back there just chiseling away at Gragson's lead. And it's come down to just one of those quick moments of, I thought the guy was going to go low.
Yeah.
Stayed high.
It's such a momentum game, especially when the tires are this old. It's such a momentum game, and you can't break the momentum.
He's working on Tommy Joe Martin's is Noah Gragson, who's got a new spotter this year, Noah does, and Brandon McReynolds. So up on the spotter stand, Brandon is working deals, saying just get out of the 9's way. And he's going to have to work to get by Martins here, and that allows Moffatt to close.
Are you surprised, Kurt, at how committed to the top Noah is? He does not want to get off the fence. Every lap car he gets to, he refuses to go to the bottom until they refuse to get out of his way.
The way he's able to manipulate the car, the setup, and the momentum on that high groove, he doesn't want to get away with that. But let's go down to Jamie on the 9.
So I haven't heard them tell Noah a single thing about fuel or saving. They want him to keep getting after it, keep running the line that he wants to. But I just asked the team about fuel, and they said, we are so close, and they're doing about like an inch. Like they're going to make it barely to the end at this point with him running the way he is.
Well, now I feel better. I was so stressed on it. Is the fuel going to be part of the game, or is it not? And some of these guys are going to be right there on edge. But there you go. There's Josh Berry, who pitted for tires, driving by the leader right now to get back on the lead lap. So many different scenarios are playing out. We've got 10 to go.
Hey, Berry in 20th. After at one point, what we say, 32nd, 33rd? What a rally for that team. He's done a nice job.
Oh, Moffatt got hung up. He's brushed the wall up there. Didn't quite get the run that he wanted on that lap car.
And that's huge for Noah Gragson, who put some distance between himself and the second place car, and the advantage now is almost a second again.
Yeah, he's just in some dirty air right there. He doesn't have as much air on the car because he's so close to Kyle Weatherman there in the 47, and just gets a little bit free and gets in the wall.
Oh, man.
And look at this. He might have to make a pit stop here. Looks like the right
too hard.
rear might be down.
Right rear's down.
Now Noah is saying, don't do this to me again.
Right?
This is what happened to him last year.
Man, is that tire carcass going to come off? If it does and lands on the track, there's going to have to be a yellow. But Noah, the 9 car, does not want to see a yellow come out.
8 laps to go. And a great job by Moffatt to hang on and get that thing to pit road.
Yes, he did. It was a huge break, hopefully, for Noah if it pans out.
So unfortunate for Brett Moffatt. He was doing such a great job with that team and sitting there running in second with less than 10 laps to go, and just one small mistake like that takes him out of contention.
But now the advantage for Gragson is over 5 seconds back to Tyler Reddick. So what are you telling your driver here as we look at 7 laps remaining this time around?
Oh, be patient. Do not hit the wall anymore. You've got a huge lead, and take care of it. Yeah. Please, we're begging you.
It was a huge gift. For that to happen, Noah now can relax, back down the pace, and go to a conscious effort of saving fuel. That was a huge moment in this race.
The difference, a straightaway.
Man, yeah, I mean, Reddick has done a great job to battle all the way back up to second. But it's just, again, the track position game on that final restart, he was too far back.
You knew at some point that Tyler Reddick was going to be a contender. I was surprised it took this long, to be honest, but here he is, 6 laps to go, running second.
Again, there's just that art form, right, Eric? There's that art that certain guys have here at Homestead. Noah Gragson's one of them. Tyler Reddick is another. And they can just get the maximum lap time they can.
Here's Reddick's audio with 6 to go.
How much you need me to save? Need a couple laps. Watch your fuel pressure gauge.
Well, I would have hoped they had told him a few laps prior than the 6 to go.
And a couple laps? Like, you can't save a couple laps with less than 10 to go.
But that also provides a little bit of insight as to maybe where Noah Gragson is. And I know the reports are, you know, it's close and they feel like probably they're going to be okay. But if Reddick is 2 laps short, then you got to believe Gragson's going to have a difficult time making it to the checkers as well. But he's made it to 5 laps remaining, and his lead is now 8 seconds, and the advantage is growing. And I've got to believe that's because Reddick is now just trying to save fuel, right?
Yeah, and if you are Dave Ellens, you are screaming on the radio for Noah to please slow down. All you have to do is manage your gap. Keep slowing down. Slow down as much or more than Tyler Reddick is to keep saving fuel.
It's a game right now of understanding how much to balance the lap time and lift off the gas. But if you're leading by 8, it's a no-brainer. Just start backing it down. Milk that fuel. Get this car to the end and pick up that win.
In this situation, you just do not want to use any brake. You want to lift early and just float her on in there and be real ginger going back to the throttle. Let's listen to the 9 radio.
Much you want to save? You just gonna let me know? I don't need a whole lot. You know, I needed a 10th that whole run, and I was gonna be 3 laps to the good. So you got an 8-second lead, 9-second lead now.
Wow, that's big. I mean, one car's good 3 laps, the other one's too short.
Michael Annette, a team car, making a pit stop with 3 laps remaining.
And yeah, man, this just makes you wonder.
I mean, the way the 9 car is acting, they just got it all under control. There's no sweat.
Hey, Jeremy Clements is 7th. He's the only driver. And there's trouble just into the lap car. That's the 13 of David Starr. Huge damage for Noah Gragson.
Oh my
and the caution is out.
Again,
heartbreak.
2 races last year. He dominates the race, leads the most laps, and doesn't walk away with a trophy. And we see it again.
I'm about ready to start throwing chairs up here. What just happened?
How does that happen?
Oh my
unbelievable.
Goodness. What happened to David Starr to slow up that much where Noah couldn't see what was coming up from ahead? Wow. Devastation.
Huge disappointment again this week for Junior Motorsports. Allgaier in the garage. Annette was making the pit stop as the caution comes out, and now from the lead, Noah Gragson. Heavy damage. He climbs from the car. Once again, he's going to see one get away at the Homestead-Miami Speedway.
Wow, let's go back and find the video of this. We got to take a look. Such a heartbreaker.
He's not going to sleep for days after that.
We'll go back and find the video of it. But man, David Starr was the last car on the lead lap. And maybe he ran out of fuel and the car checked up and he was trying to carve down and enter pit road off turn 4.
Last time he pitted though was at 112, so David Starr should have been
so
good
he'd
to
been
go
fine
on fuel.
Huh. Yeah, tough break, but
the AMR safety team is there, and here's a replay.
All right, so we're watching Noah. He's entering turn 3. Up on the high side, and 13 just blew the corner.
Did he blow right front or right rear?
I don't know. He completely missed the corner. Yeah, maybe there's an aerial that we have that we can zoom in on and see. Just the closure rate was phenomenal. There's David Starr up ahead. And
he has something happen.
Yeah,
he has a tire go down.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a tire going down.
Oh, so unfortunate for that 9 team.
I mean, if that tire goes down a 1/10 of a second earlier, he can carve to the left. If it goes down a 1/10 of a second later, oh my, that is just horrible, horrible luck.
And now we get overtime. Let's listen in Noah Gragson radio.
I said he blew right front, Dave, whatever that's worth to you. He did? No, that car in front of us. Don't matter. You're racing the leader. Tell him to get out of the way. Yeah, copy.
That's tough.
I understand the frustration. I do.
See it for sure.
Yeah. Oh man. David Starr didn't do that on purpose. You know, he was running down on that seam.
It looked like
honestly
he was
giving Noah the wall.
Yes.
And yeah, just man, just so unfortunate for David Starr to have a right front tire go down at that same time Noah was coming up to pass him.
Tell you what, 2 things going to decide this race: pit road and the overtime restart. And when you look at the top 10, Tyler Reddick now takes over the race lead after starting 38th today. Brandon Jones is up there, has been so impressive. Myatt Snyder's had a great day. A.J. Allmendinger wins stage 1. Austin Cindric wins stage 2. Both those drivers going to pit from the top 5.
Yeah, I know we haven't talked about them a whole lot during this race, but every restart we've talked about them. Brandon Jones has a incredible short run car. It's going to be exciting.
I love it. And these guys are running down on the apron right now, trying to save that fuel. Let's go to the 23 audio.
Watch your fuel pressure gauge here so we don't run out into yellow.
We are really, really low.
Running on the flat in the corner.
Yes, sir.
Oh, when you're in the seat right there, you're just begging for them to hurry up and open pit road.
The accident happened up in turns 3 and 4. So with all that cleanup, didn't have a clean shot to pit road. Pit road has been closed this entire time. But as the leaders hit turn 3, the green light is on, signifying that pit road is open this time around.
They're on the flat. They're weaving back and forth, trying to keep fuel in that right side fuel box so they can keep enough fuel pressure to get to pit road. If you don't have fuel pressure and the engine starts to stumble, you won't have your tachometer. You won't know what your pit road speed is. You could very easily get a pit road speeding penalty. This is going to be interesting.
Reddick leads him down. And everybody going to come here, get some much needed fuel and tires. Jamie Little.
NASCAR overtime pit stops. Tyler Reddick, you heard him there, how low on fuel they were. They'll get enough fuel to get him to the end. 4 tires here. A.J. Allmendinger right in front of him in this 16. 4 tires and enough fuel as well. Regan.
Well, Brandon Jones in second place is going to pit for his tires as well. That car has been just a little tight, meaning the front tires don't turn as good as he wants, so he needs a small adjustment for this last short run of the race. As we see him going for the 4 tires there.
And who wins the race off pit road? Track position and restart lane will be key. The 19 is away. The 2 is away. And it will be Myatt Snyder in front of Tyler Reddick.
Wow.
+2 for the 2 team.
Great job by that RCR pit crew.
Brandon Jones, Austin Cindric, 3rd and 4th off of pit road.
That's an incredible stop. That's a game changer right there.
Fox PBC Fight Night is starting on FS2. So if you tuned in tonight for boxing, we're going to overtime with the NASCAR Xfinity Series here in Miami. We'll get you to boxing when we are all wrapped up. And for the 3rd straight Saturday evening, we have an extra period. Every race this year has gone to overtime.
Well, this is back to that, hey, I'm going to save you a set of tires.
Yeah.
The insurance rule. Now everybody's cashing in on that insurance.
Myatt Snyder is getting ready to have an opportunity of a lifetime right here. His pit crew just got him off pit road first. He's been fast. He took the lead actually on the last restart. So, man, he's got a great opportunity right here to go get his first NASCAR Xfinity win.
Big drama too with the choose rule on do you want to pick left, do you want to pick right? Are some cars going to stay out? We'll see when it resets back around.
Hey, somebody else to keep an eye on. Josh Berry drove himself back onto the lead lap, and he's going to restart inside the top 10. And there's what's happened the last couple of weeks. Austin Cindric coming off his championship year, got Roger Penske his first ever Xfinity win on the oval at Daytona to open up 2021. And last week, Ty Gibbs shocked the world, winning in his first ever start. He's the grandson of team owner Joe Gibbs, the NASCAR and NFL Hall of Famer. Who will get it done tonight? And could we have another surprise?
Well, I can promise you Tyler Reddick's going to be up on the wheel and probably up on the fence.
I would go for that 100%.
Myatt Snyder and Brandon Jones have both had really fast cars on the restart.
6 of our top 10 have never won. Among them, Brett Moffatt, who was running up front, had the strategy figured out. Tire issue comes down pit road, but here he is restarting in the top 10. That's huge for our motorsports.
Yeah, this is going to be a free-for-all. You know, there's those land rush starts that we see in off-road truck racing or a supercross start where they're all lined up 20 wide. They're going to drop the green on this, and there's going to be cars everywhere. Let's listen in to Moffatt's radio right now and see what they're thinking.
We're better than them. We've been better than them all night. We're going to have the 19, 22, 16 behind us that are going to go like hell. So you do your deal. I wouldn't want to have anybody else in this race car doing this, so let's have some fun here.
That was my bad. It was Reddick that we were going to.
TJ Bell on the spotter stand. He's a racer, so he knows what this is all about.
Man, this launch on this restart is getting ready to be so important. If you can get off the restart zone and get clear, you have an opportunity to go win this race if you're Myatt Snider. If you're Tyler Reddick, you're going to do everything you can to hang with him. I assume Tyler's just going to choose whatever Myatt doesn't choose, right?
Yes.
He's not gonna choose the lineup behind him on a green-white checkered.
No, you're going to choose the clean air. You're going to choose the opposite lane, and then this turns into this. If I was driving the car, this goes back to my drag racing days. We've got to get the rear tires to launch perfectly, and you can't slip that rear tire, and then you've got to shift at the perfect spot to launch. And when you've got all that done, then it turns into an aero game as you're going up through the next gear, and then you got to position to the left, to the right. And then the
side
turn
draft.
2 aero, yes sir.
Side draft, blocking, it's all getting ready to come into play, Adam.
Yeah, you throw all your tools from the toolbox out on the garage floor, and you got to use them all.
Coming to one to go, and we'll find out if they're taking the high lane or the low lane. And I'm curious, guys, do you want here? When you look at track position, obviously lane choice is going to be huge. And will this be the only overtime restart? As aggressive as things have been, I say we may get double or triple overtime tonight.
Oh, there's going to be cars everywhere. I
There
mean,
is.
you have to just have the confidence, though, to know that you're in charge of your destiny and do all the disciplined things that it takes to execute.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The last restart we saw, there were 5 wide. There was cars down on the paint in the no man's land. So it's going to be very exciting. I don't know if this is going to be the only overtime restart, but it's going to be entertaining. And I'm excited to see if Myatt Snider can pull it off here.
We are going to get our money's worth, and there is no out of bounds at this racetrack, so anything goes.
Yeah, this is what it's all about. So here we go. Get the belts tightened up a little extra tight and quit rethinking it. Just go, right? Just execute.
You know, and that's one of the things. Myatt Snider has never won an Xfinity race. Doesn't have nearly as much of experience as Tyler Reddick. So he's got a lot going through his mind right now as he's coming to get ready for this restart. I can promise you he's nervous. He's trying to think through the restart and think it again and overthink it. And Tyler Reddick, you know, a veteran guy in the Xfinity Series, champion, 2-time champion, Cup Series driver, he's going to be super aggressive right here.
And he won those championships, Tyler Reddick did, by winning right here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway. And by the way, one of those titles came driving for RCR. That's who Myatt Snider represents here tonight.
And this is where the games start, right here. Even as you're approaching the restart zone, do you lag back? Do you start dropping the pace? Do you pick it up?
Right.
These guys are playing games already. It's all on the line. Here we go.
It's overtime, presented by Credit One Bank.
Don't spin the tires.
Oh. They're all jammed up. They're all pushing.
Oh, Myatt lost all of his help.
A.J. Allmendinger going down low. He's got trouble contacting and spinning.
He saved it. Stay green.
Go back.
Oh,
and there's the caution.
Where were the leaders at that time? Caution's out. We will reset. That was crazy. we were trying to watch the leaders.
Yeah. I almost couldn't talk for a minute because it got so chaotic. I turned into a fan.
Of course we're fans. This is awesome. Yeah.
The 2 spins the tires, and it's the nerves, like we talked about, Kurt.
Yep. Yeah.
You're just so amped up. You're so anxious. You're so excited about going to get this opportunity to win a race. You spin the tires a little bit, and then the guys behind him pull left to try and pull out to pass him. It actually hurts his draft, and then AJ gets hooked there.
Yeah, and that was from the 19 checking up just a little bit, and then Allmendinger's just going to go for it to the inside.
Of course you're going to go for it. It's 2 laps to go.
That's right. But yeah, that inside lane broke up.
Oh! Yeah, it looked like Allmendinger was trying to merge back on the racetrack and actually made contact with the 51 of Jeremy Clements, and that hooked him into Brandon Jones.
Now, running position here will be dictated by scoring loop, and they didn't get very far, right?
Right.
So you go to the last scoring loop, and we'll see what the ruling is here based on NASCAR timing and scoring.
And this is where you want, as a driver, them to go to the visual, to go to the camera,
right,
instead of the final scoring loop that was an eighth mile further back.
Right, because it makes such a big difference on whether or not you have control of the restart.
And so right now, right now, Moffatt, Snyder is not running as the leader. Reddick is holding the lead spot right now. But we'll see where they line them up.
Let's hear from Noah Gragson, Jamie.
Well, he was just checked and released, led 34 laps. Noah, I don't even know where to start with that. How do you comprehend what just happened when you were leading this race?
What are you going to do? You got dipshits in the way every single week, but very thankful for Johnny Morris and Bass Pro Shops. It's a shame. We've dominated the last 3 races, including this race, and have had stuff happen like that. But I don't know. I need to go to my local Bass Pro Shop and go to the lobby, de-stress myself out, get some Black Rifle coffee, and maybe look at the fish there at the fish tank at Bass Pro Shops. But definitely a bummer. They know who won this race based off speed the last 3 times we've been here, and not meant to show. But Dave Ellens, the rest of those guys, it's really unfortunate. But there's only one thing we know how to do, and that's rebound and keep our heads up and be thankful for the opportunity. This is an opportunity to race a guy who I have dreamed about racing, Tyler Reddick, on the top side. I was saving fuel there at the end, half throttle the last 30 laps, and we were still pulling away. So I don't know. What are you going to do? I appreciate all the fans for tuning in, and if you're in Miami, let's go meet up at Bass Pro Shop, maybe get a little Black Rifle coffee and go get some True Timber apparel.
He'll try to rebound at his home track in Vegas next week.
32nd, 28th in the 2 races to begin the year at Daytona. And boy, he saw a little bit of everything tonight, guys.
He really did.
Yeah, he had to go through a couple times where the team had him stay out on those old tires to finish off the stages. But again, the speed, right, Eric, on the top side?
Yeah, and you see he had such a fast car on the long run, time and time again. He did same thing last year, and I'll say it's a lot of it is Noah's art form running the wall, but a lot of it is also the car. That car has been so successful. In particular, that 9 car with Dave Ellens. They've won here with Tyler Reddick. They ran exceptionally well with William Byron here, and almost had a shot to win. So they'll keep their heads up. They'll go on, and they'll have more opportunities to win races.
Man, if there's only a little bit of coaching or mentorship that I can give Noah, it's just, man, you're running hard. You're on it, right on that ragged edge. Just back it down a little. Just try to use the lead that you had in the fuel situation. But it's easier said than done.
It is.
David Starr's car blew a right front.
Yeah.
And he had nowhere to go. But, man, at the same time, you got to get to the end and start producing the wins.
Look at that for Tyler Reddick. Never finished outside the top 10 here in any touring series event. And he'll have a long way to come tomorrow. Going to start the race 30th, I believe, is where he'll go off in the Cup event.
So are they showing Reddick as the leader now?
Yeah, and you got to believe, because of the way Myatt got the restart going there at the start-finish line, and by going to that scoring loop, I'm not sure that Reddick had ever relinquished the top spot before the caution, and by going back to that scoring loop, it's got to be the 23 out front.
Look at Jeb Burton sitting here when it counts. Top 5, doing a great job.
Well, and think about what Burton's done the last couple of weeks, 4th and 5th for the driver out of Virginia, and right behind him, Daniel Hemrick, both drivers trying to win for the first time in their career.
Here they come to choose. This is going to be interesting. Is Reddick going to choose the top again?
So here we are. You got to miss that orange box. You cannot touch that orange box. You have to split that arrow. Guys are going left. Guys are going right. Oh. And there's a lot of uncertainty, right?
There is.
On
you're sitting there trying to count cars. Your spotter's trying to count cars when you're this far back. You're trying to figure out which lane has the shorter lane. Which lane do I want to be in?
So it turns out, just like the last restart, Snyder going to be inside, Reddick outside.
I think the only thing I'll say is I think for Myatt's sake, he's had one shot at it there. He realized he was a little bit too excited, jumped in the gas too hard, spun the tires really hard. Hopefully he learns from that, and we'll see a drag race down to turn 1.
Not often you get a second chance, Kurt.
Yeah, if you miss that first free throw, you got to just get back to the line and shoot again. This is that chance to redeem it. But the outside here has an extra secret weapon, the outer wall. You don't have to block to the outside if you're in the outside lane. If you're on the inside,
you're right.
You've got to watch both sides of your car, and it makes you busier down there. That's why I would have chose the outside on the restart before that.
Hey, we've seen some guys make the middle work on these restarts too, and I'm looking at Cindric outside of row 2. I can see the 22 shooting the middle here.
Absolutely. He'll be going for it for sure.
And keep an eye on Brandon Jones. The 19 has been strong today, and he's got a couple of wins on 1.5 miles, but also one at Darlington, where, as we know, running out next to the wall is the key to success. Overtime number 2. Reddick and Snyder out front at Miami.
They both got good starts. Myatt got to his left rear quarter panel, was exactly what he needed to do.
Yes, you're right. Redemption. Can he make it work?
Clear.
Reddick tried to block that outside lane. Myatt Snyder through to the lead.
Wow.
Yes.
He learned from the first restart.
You called it perfect, Eric.
Yep. Took some deep breaths, got a great launch in the restart zone, and did exactly what he needed to do. And now they are racing for second, which is exactly what he wants to see in his mirror.
These guys are just going to clog each other up, and they're not going to get the runs they need. But Reddick does clear him for second, but he is going to run out of time pretty darn quick.
White flag is out. Next flag will end the race, whether it be the caution or the checkers. Snyder is leading and trying to win for the first time in his career.
Can you feel it for him?
Yeah,
Can you feel it for him?
Hit your marks. Hit your marks.
Yes, buddy.
Here comes Reddick.
The nerves. These guys are going to put a run.
Reddick got a great run off turn 2.
One last opportunity to turns 3 and 4. Snyder down low, Reddick up high. Jones is there. So is Daniel Hemrick. Back to the checker. Snyder hanging on, and he will win for the first time in his career.
Wow, that was fun.
Hell yeah.
Man, that was fun.
That was awesome.
Great job, Myatt Snyder. Great job. He made a mistake on the previous restart. He learned from his mistake and executed perfectly on that final restart.
That is how you rebound, and you put yourself in position to win. Congratulations, Myatt. That was a great drive.
26 years old, from Charlotte, North Carolina. And in his 36th start, Myatt Snyder has won for the first time in the Xfinity Series.
Again, it's all about the launch.
Yep.
You got to get both rear tires hooked up, grabbing gears, and then now he's got to block for a quick second. But it was a 23, never quite accelerated, and Myatt's already clear right here.
I thought the key was Cindric trying to go high. When Reddick saw that and tried to block, it halted the momentum, and that gave Snyder what he needed, and he hangs on for the victory.
What a great finish.
For the second consecutive week, we've got a first-time winner. Last week it was Ty Gibbs, and tonight it's Myatt Snyder. A couple of years ago, RCR celebrated a championship here with Tyler Reddick. It's not a title tonight, but a huge evening for Myatt Snyder. Double overtime with a full moon, and he's a winner for the first time in his career. Regan?
Well, Myatt Snyder walking down to get the checkered flag. Myatt, 2 late race, exciting restarts. The first one didn't go so well for you. The second one, you learn from your mistakes. You're a winner.
Yeah, I guess I learned my lesson on that first restart because I spun the wheels and then I saw Tyler spin the wheels the next one and I knew I might have a chance. So got a shout out to all these RCR guys, Tax Slayer, all these people supporting me over the years. It's been a rough journey, but we're here with a win, and I can't complain.
You learned from the mistake that happened there with the tires spinning. How nervous were you, though, on that last restart? This is your first win. This is a huge deal.
I knew that Tyler had a lot of experience as a Cup driver, so I knew it wasn't going to be an easy task beating him, but luckily we did it. I can't thank everybody enough. We slayed it.
Myatt Snyder, your Homestead Xfinity winner.